Silence squeaky baby gates. Grandpa didn't like being woken up by a creaky gate, so he hit the hinges with WD-40. Spray a quick burst onto the pivot points and latch. Open and close the gate a few times to work it in. The squeak disappears, and the gate swings quietly. Perfect for naptime stealth. Wipe away any excess to prevent drips on the floor. A small fix with big peace of mind benefits. For wall-mounted gates, also check screws. WD-40 helps loosen stubborn fasteners if adjustments are needed later. Loosen old bathroom knobs. When old bathroom knobs won't budge or feel stiff from age or humidity, a small shot of WD-40 works wonders. Spray directly at the base where the knob meets the metal stem. Wait a few seconds, then twist gently. The lubricant penetrates the tight space and breaks up grime or corrosion. No need to yank or strip the handle, just a smooth, easy fix. Try this on sticky tub or shower knobs too. For extra shine, wipe the outer chrome with a microfiber cloth afterward. Lubricate sticky curtain rods. If your curtains snag or drag when you try to open them, the culprit may be friction on the rod. A quick mist of WD-40 along the top of the rod restores glide. Remove the curtains first, spray lightly, then wipe clean. Rehang, and they'll slide like new. This trick works for both metal and plastic rods. You'll spend less time wrestling fabric and more time enjoying the view. For curtain rings, spray a touch directly onto the ring or hook contact points. Keep fridge gaskets from sticking. Grandpa always said, if the fridge sticks, the food suffers. When the rubber gasket on your fridge or freezer starts pulling or tearing, spray WD-40 on a cloth and gently wipe the seal. It restores flexibility and prevents sticking, especially in humid environments. Don't spray directly. Residue could contact food areas. Work it around the full edge, opening and closing the door to check motion. This not only prevents damage, but also helps the seal do its job better, preserving energy and keeping things cooler longer. Free jam drawers. Stuck drawer, don't force it, fix it. Pull the drawer as far as it will go, then spray WD-40 onto the runners or contact rails. Wait a few seconds, then gently work it back and forth. The lubricant helps slide past years of dust and swelling wood. Be sure to wipe away excess and avoid dripping onto clothes or papers. This method works for desk drawers, dresser drawers, and even kitchen cabinets. For smoother gliding long-term, consider spraying the tracks every few months as preventative maintenance. Revive stuck toilet handles. If your toilet handle sticks or refuses to flush smoothly, WD-40 can help. Remove the tank lid and spray a short burst on the internal handle arm where it meets the chain or rod. Wiggle it a few times to work the lubricant through. The handle will start moving freely again. No plumber needed. Be careful not to overspray into the tank water. A quick wipe around the hinge area also keeps rust at bay. Regular use can prevent future jams, saving time and toilet tantrums. Shine foggy shower doors. Are you tired of your shower doors, always looking cloudy? Spray WD-40 directly onto the glass, then wipe with a clean microfiber cloth. It cuts through mineral buildup and soap scum, leaving behind a smooth, clear surface. The water-resistant layer it leaves also helps prevent future fog and spotting. Avoid overspraying on floors to keep them slip-free. This works wonders on both clear and frosted glass. For maintenance, repeat every few weeks to keep the shine strong with minimal scrubbing effort. Remove crayon from dryer drum. If a rogue crayon melts in the dryer and leaves behind a waxy mess, WD-40 can erase the evidence. Spray directly on the crayon marks and let sit for a minute. Wipe with a rag or paper towel. Most of the residue will come right off. Repeat if needed. Once clean, run the dryer with a damp towel for 10 minutes to catch any leftover residue. Always clean thoroughly with soap and water afterward to prevent transferring WD-40 onto clothing. Buff, squeaky piano pedals. When piano pedals squeak during practice or performances, a little WD-40 quiets the sound without altering function. Spray a light mist on a cloth, then apply to the pedal hinge and connecting rod. Never spray directly near keys or internal parts. Gently press the pedal a few times to distribute the lubricant. The squeak vanishes, leaving only music behind. This trick also works for organ and sewing machine pedals. A microfiber cloth and precise application keep the rest of your instrument safe and clean. Unstick remote control buttons. Sticky or unresponsive remote control buttons don't always mean it's time for a new one, according to Grandpa. Remove the batteries, then lightly spray WD-40 onto a cotton swab and dab around the edges of each sticky button. Press them repeatedly to work the solution in. Wipe away excess with a clean cloth. This helps dissolve grime and moisture that builds up over time. Allow it to dry fully before reinserting the batteries. Works on game controllers and garage remotes too. Just keep it away from screens and circuitry. Freeze-stuck Christmas decorations. When plastic hooks or window clings won't budge after a season in storage, a small spray of WD-40 makes them slide right off. Just aim at the base of the stuck piece, wait a few seconds, and gently twist. It breaks the grip of dried adhesive, old tape, or melted plastic. This works for suction cups, wreath hangers, and even tangled light plugs. After removal, wipe clean and repackage. You'll thank yourself next season when setup goes twice as fast and frustration-free. Restore VHS tape labels. Old VHS tapes often have dried, curling labels that refuse to stick. Spray a little WD-40 on a cloth and gently rub the back of the label to soften the adhesive, then press firmly into place. It revives the stickiness without soaking the paper. For handwritten labels, avoid spraying directly to preserve ink. Works well for CD cases and storage boxes too. Add a clear strip of tape over the label to lock it down for good without damaging the case. Brighten faded vinyl shutters. Faded vinyl shutters can be revived with a spray of WD-40. Wipe the surface clean first, then apply a light coat and buff with a dry cloth. The sheen returns instantly, giving the shutters a deeper, richer tone without painting. This method doesn't just restore color, it also adds a layer that helps repel dust and moisture. Test a small patch first to check for color reaction. Repeat seasonally to keep your shutters looking sharp through weather, sun, and grime. Unfreeze patio door locks. Cold weather can freeze patio door locks solid. Spray a short burst of WD-40 directly into the keyhole or sliding latch. Wait a few seconds, then try gently turning or sliding of the lock. It should move freely. The lubricant displaces moisture and protects against future freezing. For stubborn cases, repeat and use a warm cloth to heat the area slightly. Also, works on gate latches, car locks, and outdoor storage bins. Keep a travel-size can handy for winter emergencies or toolkits. Loosen stuck floor padding. If you're pulling up old carpet and the foam padding sticks to the subfloor in patches, WD-40 helps release the stubborn spots. Spray lightly. Wait 1 minute, then use a putty knife to lift. It dissolves adhesive residue, making the job far less frustrating. Use sparingly to avoid saturating wood or laminate underneath. Follow up with a clean cloth to remove residue. This trick saves both time and elbow grease, perfect for DIY flooring projects or salvaging reusable floor pieces with minimal effort. Quiet, noisy ironing boards. If your ironing board squeaks every time you unfold it, spray a little WD-40 on the hinges and joints. Open and close the board a few times to work in the lubricant. The creaks vanish, making laundry day a lot less annoying. Also check where metal legs rub the board frame. Those contact points often cause the noise. This quick fix also prevents rust and wear. Wipe off any extra oil to avoid staining fabric while ironing or folding clothes later. Separate stuck drinking glasses. Nested glasses stuck together. Skip the risk of breaking them. Spray a small amount of WD-40 around the rim where they're stuck. Let it seep in for a minute, then twist gently. The glasses should slide apart with ease. Rinse thoroughly with soap and water to remove any oily residue before use. Works best with dry glass. If they're wet, pat dry before spraying. This is especially useful after dishwashing, when heat and suction make them cling tightly together. Keep ants off trash can lids. To keep ants from marching into your trash can, spray a thin ring of WD-40 around the inside edge of the lid. It forms a slippery barrier that ants avoid crossing. The scent also disrupts their trail. Be sure not to overspray onto areas that touch food waste. Wipe up any drips and reapply every couple of weeks or after rain if the can is outdoors. This also helps deter flies and other small pests. Works great on compost bin lids too. Remove melted tape from tables, leftover packing tape, or melted adhesive on a table. Spray WD-40 directly on the sticky spot and let it sit for 30 seconds. Then wipe with a clean cloth or gently scrape with a plastic blade. It dissolves gunk without damaging wood, plastic, or laminate surfaces. Always test on a small area first, especially on painted finishes. Great for removing price stickers, duct tape residue, or old bumper sticker goo. Clean the area with mild soap afterward to eliminate any slickness left behind. Unstick buttons on electric stove. If the push buttons on your electric stove stick or won't pop back out, WD-40 can help. Unplug the appliance, then spray a cotton swab with WD-40 and dab around the edge of the button. Press repeatedly to work the lubricant in. It loosens up grime, grease, and moisture buildup. Avoid spraying directly onto electronics. Apply indirectly and sparingly. Once smooth again, wipe the area clean. This also works on microwave keypads and other stuck control buttons around the kitchen or laundry area. Loosen porcelain doll joints. When a porcelain doll's arms or legs become stiff or squeaky, a dab of WD-40 can gently restore movement. Spray a bit onto a cotton swab and apply it carefully around the joint, avoiding fabric or painted areas. Move the limbs slowly to work the lubricant in, and the joint will loosen without risk of damage. This trick also works on antique figurines with wire or metal hinges. Store the doll upright afterward to keep pressure off delicate parts and maintain smooth motion over time. Detangle gold chains. Tiny gold chains love to knot, and picking them apart with a pin can scratch or snap them. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a cotton swab, then apply it gently to the tangled section. Wait a minute, then use a sewing needle or toothpick to tease the knot loose. The chain slides apart easily without tension. Rinse thoroughly with mild soap and dry with a soft cloth before wearing. This trick also works for fine silver or delicate charm bracelets. Remove wax from fiberglass. Spilled candle wax on fiberglass surfaces like bathtubs or boats. Scrape off as much as you can without scratching, then spray a light layer of WD-40 onto the residue. Let it sit for a minute to penetrate. Wipe with a soft cloth and watch the remaining wax lift away clean. Rinse the area with warm, soapy water to remove any slipperiness. Works well on fiberglass doors, shower walls, and boat interiors. Avoid using abrasive tools that could dull or scratch the surface. Lift dried leg wax. Leftover wax stuck to your leg or countertop. WD-40 breaks it down quickly. Spray a small amount directly on the waxy patch. Wait about 30 seconds, then wipe with a soft cloth. The wax will slide right off. No scrubbing, no irritation. Rinse the skin well afterward with warm, soapy water. On hard surfaces like bathroom counters, follow up with a disinfectant wipe. Always patch test on skin before applying if you have sensitivities. This also works on wax strips around wax warmer trays. Remove gum from dryer screen. If chewing gum melts onto your dryer's lint screen, don't panic. Spray WD-40 directly onto the gum and let it sit for a few minutes. The gum will loosen and peel away easily with a paper towel or a plastic scraper. Rinse the screen thoroughly with soap and water before putting it back to avoid residue buildup. This trick keeps your dryer efficient and odor-free. Use sparingly to avoid spraying into internal vents or electrical parts, and always let it dry before the next load. Unstick piano keys. Sticky piano keys don't always mean expensive repairs. If a key resists springing back, gently spray WD-40 on a cotton swab and apply around the side of the key, never directly on the board. Press it several times to loosen any built-up dust or grime. This works well on older, upright pianos where humidity or residue causes binding. Be precise to avoid spraying electronics or felt. A microfiber cloth finishes the job. Great for keeping vintage keyboards and music room relics playing smoothly. Restore brass instrument slides. Trumpet or trombone slide feeling sluggish? WD-40 can help restore motion, just a little. Remove the slide, clean it thoroughly, then apply a light mist of WD-40 and work it back and forth. Wipe off excess before reassembling. It's not a permanent substitute for proper slide oil, but it'll get you through rehearsal or an emergency gig. Also useful for old cases with squeaky hinges. Use a soft cloth to buff the brass after application and bring back the shine without tarnishing. Rust-proof a katana. Grandpa kept his katana razor-sharp and rust-free with a coat of WD-40. Spray a soft cloth and gently wipe the blade's surface, avoiding wood or decorative wrappings. WD-40 forms a barrier that protects carbon steel from moisture and oxidation, especially during long-term storage. Never spray directly on the blade to avoid oversaturating fittings. This also works for antique swords, bayonets, or knives in a collector's case. Reapply every few months for best results, especially in humid climates or damp basements. Lube model airplane wheels. Sticky landing gear on your model airplane. A small spritz of WD-40 helps the wheels spin like new. Remove the wheel assembly if possible, spray the axle point, and spin by hand to distribute. For delicate builds, use a pin dipped in lubricant and touch only the contact point. The result? Smoother takeoffs and landings, even on bumpy tabletops. This trick also helps free spinning propellers or metal hinges. Avoid spraying foam or decals directly to prevent damage to delicate finishes. Polish seashells for decor. To bring out the natural color and shine of collected seashells, lightly spray WD-40 on a soft cloth and buff the surface. It removes dullness and leaves a subtle sheen that highlights patterns beautifully. Avoid spraying directly, especially on porous shells. This method is perfect for display pieces, shadow boxes, or DIY crafts. Let them dry thoroughly before gluing or framing. For extra protection, follow up with a clear coat sealant to keep them looking polished through humidity and dust. Stop hanger marks on shelves. When wire hangers leave rust or scrape marks on closet shelves, WD-40 can help. Spray a small amount on a cloth and wipe the shelf surface to clean and coat it. It creates a slick barrier that prevents further damage and makes metal hangers glide instead of drag, especially handy on coated wire shelves or wood laminate. Be sure to let it dry fully before placing items back. For long-term results, repeat the process every few months, especially in damp storage areas. Easy cleanup of candle wax. Wax spills on tables or countertops don't need scraping. Harden the wax with ice, then peel off what you can. Spray WD-40 on the residue and let it sit for a minute. Wipe clean with a paper towel. The wax lifts off without harming the finish. Safe on most surfaces, but always test first. Great for glass, metal, and ceramic candle holders too. After cleanup, wash the area with warm soapy water to remove any remaining oil and restore the surface's natural texture. Prevent piano keys from sticking. Keys sticking after a humid summer or long break. WD-40 applied with precision can restore smooth movement. Spray onto a cotton swab and apply carefully between the sides of the sticky keys. Press repeatedly to work it in without dripping into the key bed. The lubricant helps loosen dust or moisture buildup. Never spray directly onto the keys. Control is key. Use this trick on vintage or beginner pianos to avoid expensive repairs. For long-term care, keep a dehumidifier in the room for consistent results. Fix vintage 8mm projectors. Grandpa didn't just store memories, he made sure they ran. When the reels on his 8mm projector stuck or squealed, he'd apply WD-40 to the feed rollers, sprockets, and motor gears. A light spray followed by gentle cycling brought old machines back to life. Use a cloth to catch drips and avoid hitting the lens or film path directly. It also helps restore switches and power knobs. Always let moving parts run dry before inserting film. It's a little nostalgia preserved with a little shine. Free-stuck brass slides. Brass slides on instruments or hardware can seize up over time. Apply WD-40 to a cotton swab and gently dab the slide joints. Work the slide back and forth slowly to loosen corrosion and buildup. Avoid spraying directly to prevent over-lubrication or damage to nearby materials. Once freed, wipe thoroughly and apply the proper slide oil or grease if it's a musical instrument. This trick works just as well on brass drawer glides and old lamp arms that have gone stiff. Remove jelly beans from carpet. When a jelly bean melts into carpet fibers, scraping can make it worse. Spray WD-40 directly onto the candy mess and let it sit for 30 seconds. Gently blot with a clean cloth to lift the softened candy. Repeat if needed, then wash the area with warm soapy water to remove residue. Always test a small patch first. This trick saves carpet from sticky stains and is especially helpful after kids' parties or Easter mishaps. Works on other stubborn candy spots too. Clean melted adhesive from dining table. Leftover sticker or tape glue stuck to your dining table. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a cloth and rub the affected area gently. It dissolves the adhesive without harming most finishes. Just avoid soaking or letting it sit too long. Wipe clean with a damp cloth and dry immediately. Works great for price tags on wood, plastic placemats, or glass surfaces. If it's an antique or high-gloss table, always test a hidden corner first for safety. Reapply if necessary for older buildup. Unstick jammed light switches. If a light switch is sticky or won't return to its resting position, WD-40 can help. Turn off power at the breaker, then spray a small amount onto a cotton swab and dab around the switch edges. Press the switch repeatedly to distribute. Avoid oversaturating and never spray directly into the plate. Once dry, restore power and test it. It's a great solution for older wall switches, lamp toggles, or toggle switches in basements and garages. Keep it clean with a dry cloth after application. Clean melted crayon off upholstery. Melted crayon on your couch. First, harden it with an ice pack, then scrape gently. Spray WD-40 onto a cloth and blot the stain. It'll loosen the waxy residue without damaging fabric. Blot again with a clean cloth, then wash the area with warm water and mild soap to remove leftover oil. Works well on car seats, cushions, or playroom chairs. Always test a hidden spot first. For microfiber or delicate upholstery, use a small brush to gently lift the residue after spraying. Prevent cat poop sticking in litter rake. To keep your litter scoop clean, spray a light coat of WD-40 onto the rake before use. The non-stick layer makes waste slide off easily and reduces buildup between slots. Wipe off any excess before scooping, especially if using a sifting tray. It also makes cleaning faster and helps prevent lingering odor. Works well on metal and plastic rakes alike. Reapply every few days depending on use. Avoid spraying near litter itself. Apply only to the tool in a well-ventilated area. Kill mosquito eggs in standing water. Grandpa had a clever fix for backyard mosquito problems. WD-40. A single spray across the surface of standing water, like buckets, barrels, or puddles, creates a thin film that suffocates mosquito larvae and prevents egg laying. It's not for ponds or areas with fish or wildlife, but perfect for neglected containers or rain-filled junk piles. Just a quick spritz saves you from a swarm. Always clean and cover open water sources afterwards. For long-term control, combine this with draining unnecessary catch points around the yard.